We first told you last night about a plane crash that left one man dead and another injured in the hill country. Well, tonight we've got an interview with the teenage survivor. The crash occurred about 6:30 last evening in Granite Shoals. Our Omar Lewis spoke with the young man today.
That's right, Dave. I spoke to the survivor who was taken to Brackenridge Hospital shortly after the accident happened yesterday. He told me it was his first time flying yesterday, and it's something that he will now never be able to forget.
Actually, I was pretty excited my first time. Like, we were up in the air.
It was Joshua Areza's first time up in the air yesterday, flying with 78-year-old pilot Frank Inbody, who he had just met the week before through Inbody's grandson.
We just got done, like, fixing the crane, working on the motor. And then he said, well, you want to go up to the airplane? I said, yeah, let's go.
Once up in the air, he says things took a terrible turn when the engine started to fail.
As soon as we were turning back around, like, the engine started failing, and when it started failing, I guess the wing wouldn't turn or something, but he turned to the right, and when he turned to the right, we ran into that tree, like, head on, full force and everything.
They were flying in a plane like this one, a mini-cab single-engine two-seater modeled after planes flown in World War II. It was built by the pilot Frank Inbody back in 1994.
We're going, I started asking him, how long you been flying? He's all 20 years. He built that plane for 5 years on his own, like with his own bare hands.
He tells me when the crash happened, he was concerned for the pilot and pulled him out of the aircraft himself.
I was like, Frank, do you hear me? Do you hear me? And there was no reply, so I pulled him out. When I pulled him out, I put him right there on the grass, and he didn't answer.
Shortly after paramedics arrived, Frank Inbody was pronounced dead on the scene. It's a first-time flying experience that Areza tells me he will now never forget.
It feels horrible, man. Like, it's like you talking to someone, y'all make a good connection, and next thing you know, he's gone in a blink of an eye. And it's just the most horrible feeling you could ever handle, And
funeral arrangements for the pilot, Frank Inbody, have not yet been made. Joshua Areza was expected to be released from the hospital this afternoon. No major injuries. Omar Lewis, KXAN News.